This video is for Algebra 1. This is day 2 of factoring trinomials. A trinomial has three terms. The ones we factored before were x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we had 1, 2, 3 terms, but notice that the ones we did before did not have a number in front of x squared. Today we're going to look at problems that do have a number in front of x squared, such as 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. The first thing you want to do is look for a greatest common factor. Is there anything that they will all divide by? We have a 2, a 5, and a 12. They don't have anything in common. So what you're going to do is take the first number and the last number, multiply them together. That's where my 24 comes from. I'm going to find the factors of 24 like what I did when I was factoring trinomials earlier. So the factors of 24 are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. I still use my sign rules. The second sign is negative. That tells me they're different. The first sign is negative. That tells me the big one is negative. So I came over here and made all of my big factors negative. Now I need to find the ones that equal negative 5 because that's the number in front of x. So 3 and negative 8 equal negative 5. Here's where it gets different. You're going to bring down the 2x squared, which is what they wrote right here. Pull over the two factors you chose with the correct sign and put an x with them. So plus 3x minus 8x. And then bring down the minus 12 that was at the end. You now have 4 terms. So you're going to take this and cut it in half and see what you can pull out. These both have an x. I pull the x out. 2 comes down, x squared becomes x. 3 comes down, x goes away. Minus 8 and 12 are both divided by 4, so I have a minus 4 here. 8 divided by 4 is 2x. That minus becomes a plus. 12 divided by 4 is 3. You've done this before. This is our factor by grouping. 2x plus 3 is the same, so I write it as one set of parentheses. X and minus 4 go together for the other set. Here's your answer. So looking at number 1 on your notes, the first thing you want to do is see if they have anything in common. 2, 2, and 12. These will all divide by 2, so you can pull a 2 out. This leaves you x squared minus x minus 6. Because 2 divided by 2 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 12 divided by 2 is 6. You just don't have to write the 1. When you're just factoring and you've pulled the number out, you can forget about it. So this is actually like we did on the last factoring lesson. X squared minus x minus 6. You find the factors of the number at the end, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Signs are going to be different, and the biggest one is negative. They need to equal negative 1. So I pulled the 2 out, and then I have x plus 2, and I have x minus 3. That's your answer. Number 2, I have a 6, I have a 7, and I have a 2. They have nothing in common. So I'm going to have to take the first number, which is 6, and the last number, which is 2, and multiply them. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 is what I'm going to find the factors of. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Signs are the same. They're all positive. If you need to put the pluses, that's fine. If you just know that no sign means positive, that's fine. They have to equal 7, so 3 and 4. But you do not get to go write your parentheses yet. You've got to bring down the 6a squared. Pull over your factors, so plus 3a plus 4a, and bring down your plus 2. You now have 4 terms, so you're going to cut it in half. 6 and 3 will both divide by 3. A squared and a both have an a, so we're going to pull out a 3a. 6 divided by 3 is 2. A squared, when you take an a out, leaves you a. If you're not sure where that came from, think about this being an exponent of 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I still have a to the first. Plus 3 divided by 3 is 1. When you have an a and you take an a out, it's gone. If If you're not sure about that, think of it as 1 minus 1 is 0. There are no a's. Plus, these will both divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Don't lose your a. Plus 2 divided by 2 is 1. You check these. They're the same. That's a good thing. That's part of your answer. 2a plus 1. The other part will be what was in front of each set of parentheses. 3a plus 2. This whole thing right here at the bottom is your answer. Looking at number 3. There should be an x right there. That should be 2x squared plus 5x minus 2. Look at your 2, your 5, and your 2. They have nothing in common, so you're going to have to multiply your 2 and your 2. 2 times 2 is 4. The factors of 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Signs are different, and the big one is positive, so the little one has to be negative. I need the factors that equal 5. Negative 1 and 4 equals 3. Negative 2 and 2 equals 0. When there is nothing that works, nothing that adds up to the number with x, it is prime. You're not going to have a lot of those, so don't go writing prime real often. Okay, you won't have very many, but it does sometimes happen when none of the factors add up to the right thing. And you're done. So we'll go to number 4. We have a 3, we have a 12, and we have a 9. So these will all divide by 3. And it leaves you x squared minus 4x plus 3. It makes it so much easier for you to factor if you've done that, because now you don't have a number in front of x squared. Since there's not a number in front of x squared now, we're going to find the factors of 3. 1 and 3. Signs are the same. They're all negative, and they have to equal negative 4. So I'm going to bring my 3 down, and I'm going to say x minus 1 and x minus 3. It's just going to be a lot faster if you recognize when they all have something in common and pull it out. Okay, turn your notes over to the back, and we're going to do a couple more that do have a number in front of x squared. Okay, so on the back of your notes, you're going to write 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. 6, 7, and 3 have nothing in common, so you're going to take your 6 times your 3, and you're going to get 18. Factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Signs are different. The biggest one is positive, which means the small one has to be negative. You need the factors that equal 7, so that's going to be negative 2 and 9. You cannot write your parentheses yet. You're going to bring down your 6x squared. You're going to pull over your factors, so minus 2x plus 9x. Make sure you put a sign with them, a plus or a minus. And then you bring down your minus 3. So we're going to cut it in half. 6 and 2 both divide by 2. Both of these terms have an x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. X squared, you take an x away, leaves you x. Minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. X, you take it away, it's gone. Plus 9 and 3 both divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Don't lose your x. Minus 3 divided by 3 is 1. Remember, we want these to be the same. They are, so that's part of my answer. And then remember, you're going to take what you pulled out and put those together for the other part. 2x plus 3. That's your answer. Okay, one more, and then we'll go to the assignment. If you had 4x squared minus 5x minus 6. 4, 5, and 6 have nothing in common. So you're going to say 4 times 6, and you're going to get 24. The factors of 24 are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Signs are different, and the largest one is negative. I need it to equal negative 5, so I'm going to go with 3 and negative 8. Pull down your 4x squared. Pull over your 3 and your negative 8 because they're your factors. So plus 3x minus 8x. And then bring down your minus 6. Cut it in half. The numbers have nothing in common, but they both have an x, so you pull that out, and it leaves you 4x plus 3. There's a minus, so we've got to put a minus. These both divide by 2. and it becomes 4x plus 3. Remember, if you have a minus here, you're going to change the sign when you bring it down. These need to be the same, and they are, so you have 4x plus 3, and then your other part of your answer is going to be what you pulled out, x minus 2. A little bit longer, but not that difficult. Okay, it's time for your assignment. If you have any questions, please call me over.